Hi, Dr. Chandan. So thanks a lot once again. This is my second interaction with you. Once I met you in IIT Gandhinagar. Now this is the second virtual meeting. Thank you.
Yes, pleasure to see you again.
Yeah. So, Dr. Chandan, you have done your post this doctorate in IIT Gandhinagar, and
Mhm.
now you are pursuing your postdoctorate fellowship also, and at the same
Right.
time, you are also pursuing entrepreneurial venture in Gandhinagar itself. So my last interaction with you was largely related to entrepreneurial things. This my interaction will be largely related to your research work and how you decided that you will go into entrepreneurial stuff and how highly specialized research can help students to get into entrepreneurial ventures. So here we start with your very brief background. So which part of India you are from and how you landed up in IIT Gandhinagar.
Yeah, so I'm from Bihar, but I did my schooling in Nepal, in Kathmandu specifically.
Mhm.
So I studied in Nepal board school up to grade eighth, and
Mhm.
then I went to Kendriya Vidyalaya, which is in Indian Embassy in
Mhm.
Kathmandu.
Mhm.
So there I completed my 12th, and after that I came to India um, to prepare for IIT exams. Um, and unfortunately, I could not clear the IIT JEE, but then I could get into an IIT Raipur,
Mhm.
where I pursued biomedical engineering.
Mhm.
One reason for going for biomedical engineering was that in my 12th, I had taken both computers and biology, and both were very interesting subject to me. So, and also my father was a doctor, so this all inspired me to somewhere go and make medical devices which could help people,
Mhm.
and that is how I got into biomedical engineering. And then even at NIT Raipur, I was developing different kind of devices,
Mhm.
and that led me to IIT Gandhinagar to do my PhD.
Okay. So your PhD is also in biomedical, or there is some different domain you did your PhD?
So my PhD is in electrical engineering, but the focus is on biomedical applications.
Okay. So, Dr. Chandan, can you be little specific about your PhD work?
Yes. So when I joined my PhD in IIT Gandhinagar, my focus was to develop an instrumented glove using fiber optic sensors.
Mhm.
The main focus and the main objective motivation behind doing that was hand is a very complex structure altogether, and placing many sensors on the hand to measure all the finger joint angles, the movement of hand is a challenging task.
Mhm.
So we thought if we could make such a system which can give very accurate and reliable results in measuring the finger movements, so this could be used for medical applications.
Mhm.
One such application that we thought of was obviously the rehabilitation of people suffering from hand disabilities, such as stroke patients.
Mhm.
So we thought if we could develop a glove which could very accurately measure the finger movements without interfering with the actual movement of the or the natural movement of the hand,
Mhm.
and then if we could link that with some virtual reality exercises.
Mhm.
So what would happen is that a patient would be able to perform these exercises in real time, and
Mhm.
we would be also able to monitor the movement of the patient's hands, and based on that, track the recovery progress of the patient. So in a way, we are able to give them an objective assessment of their recovery progress.
Great.
So that was how
Okay.
we got
Mhm.
into development of this instrument.
Yeah. So, Dr. Chandan, if I'm not wrong, you have joined PhD immediately after your BTech. Am I right in that?
Yes. So I
So this is
completed
called
my
direct.
BTech in 2015,
Mhm.
and I had applied to IIT Gandhinagar, I think, few months before my graduation.
Mhm.
And I got shortlisted for interview in computer science and electrical engineering both. So
Mhm.
when I came to this place, I met with the faculties, had a hour-long PhD interview,
Mhm.
and interacting with the faculties, I found that this would be a very nice place to pursue my PhD.
So I observed during my visit in IIT Gandhinagar that even if the lab belongs to a professor with background of computer science, you'll find people from all other departments also, and truly interdisciplinary.
Correct. One thing that I actually liked about IIT Gandhinagar when I came to this place is that there are no specific departments as such.
Mhm.
So it's although it's specified as electrical engineering, chemical
Okay.
engineering,
Mhm.
biological engineering, but those walls are not there. So even if I am in electrical engineering,
Mhm.
um, in fact, there are some you are actually motivated to do projects and interact with faculties from other departments. So, if I remember, there are 4 project courses that we have to do,
Mhm.
even in PhD,
Mhm.
and at least one of them has to be from the other department.
Okay.
So that way, there's a environment being built
Mhm.
where you are made to do interdisciplinary research and interactions. In fact, there was a very interesting um, thing done in hostel arrangement as well.
Mhm.
So in 2015 when I came to this place, so in the hostels also students from various disciplines were placed in a specific area in a specific wing so that the interdisciplinary interactions could evolve there.
Mhm. Okay, great.
So that's one beauty here. Yeah.
Yeah. So before I come to IIT Gandhinagar and special kind of ecosystem created in IIT Gandhinagar, I would like to ask you, Dr. Chandan, like students who are in good colleges here from NIT, and they have some kind of direct entry into IIT system also. The preference is there. So students fear that immediately after BTech, if we land up in direct PhD program, missing MTech, there may be some kind of negative repercussions to that on the career. What is your view on that?
A few years back, while I was doing my PhD, there was this kind of it's a transition happening.
Mm.
Direct PhD was not something so popular in India. In fact, many
Yes.
professors would
Mm.
also not be aware of it, or
Yes.
they
Yes.
would not be very
Interested
fond
in
of
it.
it.
Mm.
Yeah, but in recent years, I have seen
Mm.
that almost all IITs are
I
offering
started
this
it.
course.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes.
you have direct PhD.
Mm.
Even in many foreign countries, you can
Mm.
directly go for PhD after your BTech.
Mm.
Now, what MTech does is gives you a buffer period. So
Mm.
if you're not sure whether you would want to do a PhD or pursue a research career, so you
Mm.
can take that intermediate step as
Mm.
MTech,
Mm.
where you're getting a degree, a professional degree, of course, but
Mm.
the 1 year that you spend doing some research, you gain some intuition and you gain some more clarity
Mm.
whether research is the right field for you. So if
Mm.
you're not very sure that you want to get into research and want to try,
Mm.
then an MTech would be a good thing to do. But
Mm.
if you're sure that you want to go for a PhD,
Mm.
then a direct PhD would be wonderful. And if you see the recent PMRF
Mm.
fellowship
Yes.
is being
Yes.
given, that also promotes
Mm.
a PhD directly after BTech. So
Mm.
if at a national level,
Mm.
if a direct PhD is being
Mm.
motivated, and
Mm.
so I don't think someone should fear for that case.
I was
And
going
yeah,
through.
yes.
Yeah, I was going through some news also that IIT Gandhinagar has got maximum PMRF. I don't know. I was going through somewhere. This news is how authentic is this?
I'm not sure of that, but I think this time 11
Also
students
got.
bagged, yeah, PMRF, and that is a very good thing. The Indian system is now slowly changing. We have more PhD students enrolling, and even the perception is
Mhm.
changing. There are more fellowships and opportunities for
Yes,
PhD
yes.
students.
Yes.
So it's a good sign.
So I was scrolling, one of the booklet kept in the guest house IIT Gandhinagar, and it was mentioned that if some student gets opportunity to go abroad, maybe even for one semester during PhD and all, IIT Gandhinagar is going to spend all the money. And Professor Jan, director, told me that it may cost huge to IIT Gandhinagar, but they want the students to get global exposure, and they want their students not to lag behind anyone, and hence they provide it. So, what is your view on that?
Yeah, that is correct. Even for even to PhD, MTech, and BTech students, some help in terms of funding is provided even to attend conferences.
Okay.
Like to go for my international conferences. I was supported by IIT Gandhinagar for at least two international conferences.
Great.
So yeah, so that kind of support is there. And also, if you want to spend a semester in a good university outside, the institute has provisions for that. If you're not economically sound, so there are several other options available here that you can take advantage of. So the thing is that at this place, what I've seen is if you are motivated and if you want to really go for it, I mean, no one is going to give you for free. If you just say that I want to go into this conference, you won't get the money. I can bet on that. But if you show that this really matters to me and I want to go for it and this is going to help me, the institute is there to support. That is what I have seen in these 5 years.
Great. Okay, Dr. Chandan. Now, my next question is related to choosing the careers. Since I deal with the students pursuing different careers after engineering and all, I keep on interacting with students. What I found is like there's a some kind of myth associated with higher education. I give you one very small example here. Like if you ask student why you are not pursuing MTech or PhD for that matter, he say I don't have a research aptitude. The same student then you find later on is going for the interview in Big Bhav Atomic Research Center or ISRO. That means when you ask them that, okay, if you don't have research aptitude, what you are doing in this research institutes? So what is happening is like in the rat race of getting into jobs, government jobs or public sector jobs or something. Even those students who have temperament for research, and I know many students have strong temperament for academics and this research, they have that. So if they pursue their career in research, that will be wonderful for them. But the ecosystem in India is such that they don't want to pursue that with lot of fears, lot of myths associated with this, like PhD nahi ho payega, 5 saal ka hai, professor nahi deta hai, rigorous course it is, agar nahi hua to kya hoga, what after PhD? These are some of the queries in the minds of even bright students, and they don't go for that. Because what I understand is like bright students like you in IITs, NITs, or top universities, if I talk about, and other colleges also, 20 to 25% students will be inclined for these kind of careers, but still they don't try. Why? Because of these all myths associated and fears associated with pursuing higher education. So what are your words for that?
I would say research. I think by default, every Indian is good with research.
Yeah.
Because you see, we don't get everything for free in our life.
Yeah.
And each one of us have that curiosity inside. Research is nothing but exploring your curiosity.
True.
Now, the only difference is that when you do research, when you do PhD, there's a systematic way of doing that or exploring your curiosity, not a random way. And it's just organizing it a bit, which we learn, which is the exact thing we learn while doing PhD. That how do you organize your way of researching or querying or something, and how to get an answer to your curiosity in a stepwise manner, in a systematic and scientific manner. So I think anyone who thinks, who is interested in solving a problem or finding a solution can pursue PhD. There's nothing like only a few students are entitled to PhD or research. By PhD, I would mean research.
Yes.
So anyone can do that if you are interested in that. There's not a very specific skill set or aptitude needed. The PhD will teach you all that is required. The only thing is that you should have interest to pursue the research. The other thing is about career and the opportunities. Obviously, when I joined 5 years, 6 years back, the situation was not as good as it is today. And 5 years down the line, the situation is again going to improve. I remember I had gone to IIT Kharagpur for doing my internship. I do not remember the year, maybe 2013 or so. And while talking to the researchers there, I just found one day one of the researchers was exclaiming that he received his fellowship. And I asked how much. He said some 2 lakhs rupees. And I was so excited. Wow, you received 2 lakhs of stipend? And he said, no, after a year or so, I'm receiving my aggregate stipend. So the situation was that you would not even get stipend timely. Today, the scenario that I see is that before the month ends, your salary would be credited, your stipend would be credited to your account, right? So you don't have to worry like it used to be in earlier days where it was really challenging. Even in terms of funding, there's a lot of funding opportunities available. So the situation is improving, but to bring that change, we also have to step out. So if we just keep sitting that there are no good opportunities, so I won't join PhD, I won't go into research, then the situation is never going to improve.
That's
right?
true. It's very
So
good.
you have to step in. Yeah, we
That's
have
true.
to take that step. Even when I came to pursue PhD, I too was in dilemma what is going to happen after next 5 years. Recently, I have taken entrepreneurship. I again don't know what's going to happen.
Yes.
It's a risky affair,
Yes.
and
Yes.
specifically if you want to do that after PhD,
Yes.
it's another challenge,
Yes.
right? But then it's adventurous, and the thing is, my father often quotes that if you put your heart into something, it's not going to fail. So anyone who is worried into getting this, I would tell them that if you are really interested, then there's nothing to worry about. The situation is much better than when I jumped in. The situation was better than earlier when I had jumped, and the situation will be much better when you'll be graduating.
Yes. Yes.
So there's nothing to worry.
Okay, now the question which I'm going to ask Dr. Chandan is something which even I know cannot be answered very straightforward and all, but still I will discuss with you. There is a dedicated campus placements departments and all in every IIT for BTech people, for masters people and all. But by nature, PhD is such a course that you never know when somebody is going to complete his PhD and all, and they don't come in batches. Students come in numbers. So that is one of the reasons, like placement is something which students, when they enter into PhD, though when they are into PhD they stop asking about it, because things they get it, they understand it, okay, this is how we have to explore the options. But when they join it or before they join it, their very common question is, sir placement कैसे होगा हमारा, बीटेक का होता है, एमटेक का, एमएस का होता है, लेकिन पीएचडी का तो प्लेसमेंट नहीं होता, तो क्या होगा हमारा बाद में? Very raw question, maybe you can.
Yes. So PhD is less about a degree, and it's more about teaching you to be independent.
Yes.
So when you complete your PhD, you become an independent investigator or an independent researcher, or you are on a track to become an independent researcher.
True.
So during PhD, you learn so many skills that makes you independent and to seek your own empire. And therefore, this question, we come with this question into PhD. But when you'll be leaving, you'll be like, I can find my own way.
Yes.
Right? There are, I wouldn't say that there are less number of opportunities after PhD, because I have seen a lot of my friends who went into good industries, and they're doing very good in the R&D. Some of my friends who graduated with me have recently joined some of the IITs. I know a few of my seniors who have joined as assistant professor in IIT. Right? So there are no lack of opportunities. There are many students, those who graduate PhD who would want to explore entrepreneurship. I know someone who started PhD in IIT Gandhinagar, but he felt like entrepreneurship is a much better way for him. He was here for 5 years trying to do PhD as well, but because his entrepreneurial journey skyrocketed, he gave up on the PhD and went into that league. So
that is
when
called
you come to
dropout.
PhD,
So that is
exactly
what we hear about Harvard, Stanford dropout. Similar to that, the Gandhinagar dropout. I think Gandhinagar.
Yeah, but you see, he got that. He was able to do that because he got into a PhD where he got a supportive environment, where he became so independent that he thinks that a degree is not required, because he almost pursued his degree for 5 years here.
True.
Right. So that is what I would say. That once. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. Somewhere, no, I strongly believe that I will come to that question also. Like PhD degree is such a degree. When you get it, it's a lot of effort you need to give. But once you have it in your pocket, it gives you a lot of risk taking capability also. and
Correct.
that
Correct.
eventually helps you in entrepreneurial stuffs also. That is what I felt as when I did my PhD and I opened my website.
Exactly.
Even I felt that way. So you are true in that.
Exactly. And the thing is that once you do your PhD,
Mm,
uh, rest everything seems very small. All the
mm,
problems seem small because you handle so many things together. It actually enhances a lot of your skills, including your leadership skills,
mm, mm.
time management skills. So lots of skills that you develop in PhD.
Okay.
So will definitely help you
Yeah.
handle your life easily.
So,
Yeah.
Chandan, my next question is actually question from the students to you, and that question is: if I give you a couple of parameters, how do you rate them in priority when you are to decide about PhD? First is IIT. Should it be old IIT, new IIT, or what? Second is professor. It should be professor with lot of research papers, professor, associate professor, assistant professor. What? Third is field of research. Should we give priority to field of research? Fourth is what after PhD? I mean, what opportunities that IIT is going to provide, and what where should I go? That parameter. Largely first three parameters. So where do you rate? How he can prioritize this? While he's to decide where he should go.
The first priority, I would say, I would add one thing to this list. The first priority is your interest. What actually ignites you? Right? There are so many research is going in almost all the fields now.
Okay.
Uh, so say you're interested in computer science, but just because something in electrical engineering is booming,
Mm,
you joining that won't be a good match.
mm,
So there's opportunity to research in almost everything. So look
mm.
what interests you, and
Okay.
based on that, you should look for a right kind of institute and a right kind of professor. The
Mm.
second thing that is important is more than institute, the professor is important,
Yes.
supervisor,
Very good.
because it's said that PhD is like a marriage, right?
Mm,
So you have to rightly select your spouse,
mm,
and that's very true because if you get a very good supervisor,
mm,
he can guide you correctly to navigate through
mm.
PhD and research.
And beyond that also.
And beyond that, he becomes almost a guide for your life.
Mm,
But if you don't agree with the professor, if
mm, mm,
there's not a good coordination,
mm,
rapport between both of you, then PhD is going to be hell, even if the institute is super fantastic.
mm,
The next thing that you need to focus is on the uh,
I think it is.
research environment and the equipment and resources that you need. So it
Yes.
may just be a new IIT, it may be
But
even
mm,
NIT, but if
mm,
you have those resources there,
yes, yes.
then it's a place for you. But let's say
Mm,
you go to the top institute, but there's no research facility for you, you're going to
mm,
struggle.
mm,
So
mm,
that is the third priority. And
mm,
of course, name matters.
mm,
So over after all this, you should consider which institute you are going to. Going to
mm,
the best institute would obviously
that's
be
the advantage.
something, yeah, advantageous.
So very,
But
very rightly said. Like first should be your interest, second should be professor, third should be facility and research ecosystem, and then name branding.
correct.
Very well said. Now, Chandan, coming back again to you. So now you did your PhD and now you opened up your entrepreneurial venture also. My straight question: how do you think PhD helps you to start your venture? Everybody wants to become entrepreneur, but nobody knows how. So how PhD is helpful?
PhD actually helps you by knowing how.
Okay.
So, so PhD is, see, you are focusing 5 years of your life just
Okay.
on one particular point.
Mm,
PhD is all about going down into in depth to find solution to one very small problem,
yes,
right?
yes.
So it's like going deep in something.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you'll be asked a question, so what?
Mm-hmm.
Why does this matter? And
Mm-hmm.
that is exactly how you get into entrepreneurship. Once everything is clear to you, once you know that okay, market needs this product and I need to make this the right kind of product,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's how you will be making the right product, and then things will be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Market is difficult for those who make products that the market doesn't require at that particular point of time.
Mm-hmm.
So research when you get into PhD, you're actually focusing, you're actually trying to fine tune your thought process, whether are you thinking on the right lines or not. And I see that when I started presenting my idea at different platforms, relatively it became clearer I had a better idea of what I'm trying to do, how I'll be able to achieve it. And one contributing factor to that was the amount of research I did during my PhD, and the kind of grilling I got while making presentations several times during my PhD. So now it's relatively easier to put my thoughts in sequence and present it to people so that they can understand better and give me proper feedback, and I can go
Great.
further with my dreams. Yeah.
Okay, Chandan, now how IIT Gandhinagar and ecosystem of IIT Gandhinagar is conducive for you to start your venture after PhD? How it is helpful?
So I would say that at IIT Gandhinagar, you can think of entrepreneurship anytime, be it BTech, MTech, or PhD. There are special motivations.
You have to unmute yourself, Chandan. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was cut.
Okay.
So there are some special motivations given to PhD students to specifically pursue entrepreneurship and take their research to the market. But otherwise, everyone is motivated here to get into entrepreneurship. You get all the kind of supports that you can get. Obviously, they won't feed everything to you. There's no hand holding being done.
Yes.
But if people here, the authorities here find that you are interested to pursue entrepreneurship, they try to provide all kind of support, including mentorship, helping you build contacts. There are regular mentor-mentee sessions which you can attend. There are several other workshops being held here where you can clear your doubts about entrepreneurship and how to move ahead. So those things are there, and if your idea is really brilliant, if they see you determined, they're also going to provide you some institute fund initially.
Great.
To take this forward.
Great. So now, Dr. Chandan, you have also taken the additional responsibility of postdoctorate fellowship. What I understand is maybe that is for your self-sustaining yourself and financially and all. So can you justify that postdoctorate fellowship along with entrepreneurship?
Yes, entrepreneurship obviously requires fund, and you can in initial days you cannot get your sustenance from pursuing entrepreneurship. So one very good way of doing research as well as carrying on my entrepreneurship was to join a postdoctoral fellowship here, which I am doing. So you have to manage time, which is a bit difficult. So you that doesn't mean that you can skip the duties of being a postdoctoral fellows.
Okay.
So I have to be always on time and tight with the schedule. But then this gives me a little of flexibility in terms of financial resources as well, and it also helps me to keep doing research, which I really like. So both of these things are going together.
Yeah. So my last two questions, Dr. Chandan, for you. First is, when students decide to go for PhD programs or a master's program and all, they have very straight question. I know IIT Gandhinagar is doing marvelous thing. Personally, I have visited now. I can say that. So IIT Gandhinagar has created different kind of culture. I want to know through you why a student should take IIT Gandhinagar or should choose IIT Gandhinagar when he's in the decisive phase of choosing the IIT for him for pursuing such courses.
I would say one thing that I found at IIT Gandhinagar, which is relatively different from many other institutions, is that there are no boundaries. So you can pursue the kind of work that you want. So when I came to this place, the exact kind of work that I wanted to do, I was able to pursue. So even if you join in electrical engineering and you want to work something on chemical engineering, you'll be able to do that, which is relatively difficult to find at many places. The other thing is there's a lot of freedom to work here. So when I joined IIT, I would mostly work late night. So my work time would start at 4 o'clock in the evening and end in the 7 in the morning. So you have that freedom that you can go to the lab anytime. You do not need to take any special permission, and you can work as per your choice. So that freedom is very important in research, and that is what IIT Gandhinagar gives you. The other thing is that you don't get anything here for free. But if you can show that you deserve it and you need it, then there are
You can get
certainly
everything.
hands there. Yes, then you can get. But nothing will be given to you to for free. When I started this entrepreneurship thing, initially I was hardly given any support. But when the institute could see that I'm trying to persist with it, then they started helping with me with things. So that again is there, that you have opportunities which can help you, and the institute is growing. The faculties here are young and therefore dynamic, so no one would be here judging or telling you that, oh, this may not be possible. So everyone is eclectic. So if you come with even weirdest idea, they'll be like, hey, let's test it. So that one thing is really very nice here.
Great. Okay, now Chandan, last question for you is related to youngsters, those students who are pursuing their biotechnology. As you said, you are from this background, if I'm not wrong.
Biomedical, yeah.
Those biomedical, sorry. So those of you who are pursuing their biomedical engineering, and they want to know what can be the some research area, good research area in which we can pursue our career, maybe for entrepreneurship later on, or good career. I think you are the right person whom I should ask it.
Well, I would say we should always try to solve a problem that you come across,
Okay.
not invent a problem and then solve it.
Okay.
So the best way is that look for problems around. And in BTech, the best way is that those who are in biotechnology or biomedical field should often visit hospitals and see what kind of facilities are there and what kind of facilities are required. So it often happens whenever I go to meet doctors and I tell them, okay, I'm developing this product. 2 or 3 more such problems come up from their side, which they are very fond of, and they're like, you solve this problem for us, and it's going to be very good. It's going to have good market response. So there are a lot of problems that exist, but there are less number of people who are trying to solve it. So if you take that approach, look for the problem around and give some innovative solution to it, which can be actually later on translated to market, then I think both of the questions get solved. The research aspect and also the entrepreneurship, both will be solved. If we try the other way, that you're trying to imagine a problem by yourself and then find a solution to it and then ask the market to buy it, that's not going to happen.
So that means the problem is not in the research papers, it is in the real world, and you should try to find from there and solve it. That is the real research, right?
Yes, exactly.
So that was wonderful. Let me Professor Dr. Chandan, let me thank you. It was wonderfully, session was very good. You provided very insightful answers to these questions, pertinent questions, and I'm very sure this will help many the students who are actually thinking of pursuing such career and maybe entrepreneurial thing for them. And I on behalf of all my subscriber on the channel, wish you all the very best for pursuing your successful entrepreneurial journey.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here. And I wish all the students all the good luck, and for whatever they want to pursue in their career ahead. The only thing I would like to tell them is be fearless. The same I am also trying to do, and we'll definitely get all that we are desiring. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank
you so much.
Dr. Chandan.
Yeah.